a dreadful murder of an 8-year-old girl. When adults lie, the child's spirit will reveal the truth about the pedophile murderer and his hypocritical accomplice. Welcome to Psychics Investigate. There are only real impressive stories that people who call themselves psychics try to sort out here. In this episode, a young woman from a small town in eastern Ukraine contacted the clairvoyants. Katerina is searching for her 8-year-old sister, Valya.
Hello, help me, please. My sister disappeared 12 years ago. She was my only close relative. I loved her so much.
One August evening of 2006, little Valya was playing with her friend in the courtyard of the 5-story building in which their family lived. Later, her friend came back home while Katerina's sister disappeared.
We went to the police after waiting for 3 days and hoping she would probably be back. But Valya never returned.
The police did the search and interrogated people, asking if someone had heard or knew something.
However, they found no clues. Nobody had seen or heard anything suspicious.
After a week of the search for the little Valya Varic, the police informed the family they had presumably found her dead.
The girl had been strangled, but the family was never asked to identify the body.
They said the body was heavily mutilated. They only showed us her things, and we recognized some fragments of her clothing.
Does this mean you didn't even see your sister's body at the funeral?
No, they forbade us. There was a policeman who accompanied us to make sure we didn't open the casket.
Do you mean you're uncertain if she's dead?
Yes. Here's her final photo.
I had a vision. A man's hands holding a wire, which is tied in a very strange knot. The knot is tied around the little Valya's neck.
I understand it won't console you, but you really buried your sister? The child is murdered. She's like crucified and has a crown of thorns on her head.
A shocking revelation. Was this a ritual murder, or what else could the clairvoyant's words mean?
She was found at a military graveyard. They said she'd been strangled with a wreath.
Her murderer was never found.
No.
I'd like to tune into the site where she disappeared.
We took the girl's photo to work with it later that day.
In the morning before the investigation, the psychics started discussing something excitedly.
The murdered Valya was standing in front of me, but she wasn't alone. Next to her was a girl of her age. She was dark-haired and had a dandelion wreath on her head. She was also murdered. They were both strangled.
Could it be some kind of serial child killer?
Meanwhile, the little Valya's friends and family have gathered in the courtyard in which she disappeared.
I saw her say goodbye to a girl, then look at her phone and leave the playground.
Let's summon the girl's spirit. She says, Katyunya.
Yes, this is what called me. Forgive me, my dear little sister. I couldn't protect you.
She says it's not your fault.
She sees a car of fair color. Its window is open, and through the window, she sees someone's eyes. The eyes are smiling, and she smiles in response.
Katerina says she also heard about the car from one of the neighbors.
When she looked out of the window, she saw a white car. Valya was getting into it.
There's a man in the car. He gives her a doll, and the girl gets in his car. The man accelerates sharply. He takes her somewhere where there's nobody around. The man tormented the child. It's so terrible. It's not a human, but a beast. Oh, God. She was thrown away like a broken doll.
The body was in a strange pose. It looked like he attempted to rape her, but we were never told if she was raped or not. She would never approach a stranger, even to get a doll.
He looks like someone she used to know, but then didn't see for some time.
Her godfather. He often went to work abroad. Every time he returned, he brought her presents.
Valya's godfather was in another town on the day when she disappeared, but the girl didn't know that.
She took the other man for him.
Because of the doll.
Your sister's murderer is dead. She showed us him. He died in the same car. It looked like it crashed. The last thing he saw in the darkness was your sister's eyes. And then, the brakes squealed and the car crashed into a tree.
But Valya's spirit asked us to help another girl who's being threatened by another man. It's a little girl of about 7 or 8.
We don't have any little girls in our family.
Valya's spirit says you're the mother of the girl we're supposed to save from death.
Do you have a daughter of 7 or 8?
Yes, Amina.
It turned out that this young woman lives with her family in one of the neighboring buildings. She and her mother and aunt were on the way home.
I saw the psychics, and so we decided to come up.
Lisa was planning to contact the psychics anyway because some kind of evil spirit has been haunting her little daughter.
Something is threatening the child. I fear for her.
However, Zhana Shulikova feels that the threat emanates from a human. But the girl's mom claims it's an otherworldly entity.
I saw a notebook, and in it, there was a phrase written in a kid's handwriting, "He's the evil," and there was one word there. Had I deciphered it then, I would have made the mother confess everything.
Could the phrase from the child's notebook mean the otherworldly force? What is going on to the little Amina?
Smoke. Fire.
Did you have a fire at your home?
Yes, we did. My mother woke up and ran to extinguish it.
It turned out that one night, the whirring in the apartment where the family lives burned, and the curtain caught fire quickly. Lisa's mother was extremely fortunate to extinguish the fire, but Lisa believes somebody from the other world stands behind the fire.
I felt something pass by me, but when I turned around, I saw nothing.
And a few days before the fire, Lisa witnessed somebody's ghost next to her daughter.
The silhouette was vague, as if it was made of smoke or mist.
You're not the only one to feel it.
My aunt feels it too.
I felt something, like a hand, running along my hair. I got so scared.
To find out what is threatening Lisa's daughter, I needed to see the girl. Hello? Could you please give me your hands? You can take the child. I see a storeroom. I see a little girl sobbing next to a suitcase. She's holding a doll in her hands. But the doll looks like it's smeared in something red. Like blood. It's not Amina, but energetically, this girl is very much like Amina.
Who could this girl be?
Look over there.
There's a girl sitting on the swing. I saw her in my dream. The dandelion wreath. She was strangled like Valia. She's calling out. What is this? It hurts a lot. Dead eyes.
She's lying in a sack. It's so cold around her. She's wearing some dark pants. And the sweater that looks like yours. It's pink. Her feet are bare.
This is my sister.
My daughter.
It's shocking. Jana didn't even know where it had happened.
She was raped, first strangled, and then thrown away.
What was her name?
Ayla. She went to top up my phone and never returned.
That I was absent then.
Back then, Lisa was living in another town. Her mother got ill and stayed home. She needed to top up her mobile phone, and her younger daughter went to do it for her mom.
When she wasn't back in 20 minutes, I went to find her. Having checked everywhere, looking for her, I went to the police.
The officers searched all the neighboring courtyards and playgrounds and asked the little Allah's friends, but they didn't find her anywhere.
She was found 2 days later.
A woman who cleaned the streets found her.
The girl's body was in a trash container not far from the building in which she'd lived. Therefore, the clairvoyants went there.
I didn't want to live without my child. I can't.
I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. I wished I'd been killed instead of her.
I love her so much. I always go to her grave to ask for her forgiveness.
The aunt still remembers the last time when she and her niece went for a walk that spring.
She asked me to make a wreath for her, so I made it. And she put it on her head and said, "I'm a princess." And then she hugged me and pressed me so tightly.
Help me find out who did this to her.
And what happened?
She didn't die here.
She was brought and dumped here several hours before she was found.
After the girl was murdered, she was held in some kind of locked-up room, something like a basement.
The examinations revealed that the girl had been murdered the same night that she disappeared. However, it remains a mystery where her body was kept for over a day before it was dumped into the container.
Allah's spirit told me my murderer threatens Amina.
This is some kind of maniac, or I don't know who it could be.
She will show us where she was murdered.
Allah's spirit brought us to the door and pointed at the apartment on the first floor.
I live here.
What do you mean?
I live here with my mom.
Was she murdered at home? There was something wrong about this story.
Do you have any of the girls' possessions?
Yes.
I have a vivid vision. The girl is tormented. She's raped. And she's strangled.
But how could the rapist and murderer enter the apartment in which the girl lived. And who could he be?
I see the hands of a man. It's a strong man. He has dark brown eyes. And you know this man.
Probably.
You know him. Why is the child calling the murderer her father?
I can't believe it at all. He's the only person I trusted in my life.
We warned her 100 times it could end up in a tragedy at home.
It turned out that Allah called her stepfather, her dad.
By the time her daughter was murdered, Victoria had lived with a man named Gaji for 7 years. The woman's first marriage had collapsed after she fell head over heels in love with the handsome Oriental man.
It's such a great love. But he's in prison now.
For what is he there?
This time, for a rape. He raped Allah.
Gaji Muslimov, who used to live with Victoria, is currently serving a sentence. For the rape and murder of the 8-year-old Allah, he was sentenced to life in prison.
I don't know who the murderer really was. I can't believe he could do it.
The woman is certain that the man she loves would have never done anything like that. He only confessed everything because of the pressure from the police investigators.
They tortured him so badly that he ended up in the hospital.
Our expert found a police officer who was involved in the investigation. And he clearly remembers Victoria's partner confessed to the terrible crime. This is incredible, but the rapist claimed it was all the girl's fault.
He said the girl entered the kitchen and told him she wanted it, so he had sex with her. And when the girl started screaming, he strangled her, and that was it.
Do you know what I'm standing next to?
The storeroom.
The tears, the dark room and the suitcase. Why is the child in the suitcase?
Tell them! Why aren't you saying anything? You complained to me that he'd tied her up and put her in the suitcase.
Ask Mom, and she'll tell you.
The woman won't tell us. But Lisa says the man really locked his little stepdaughter in the suitcase to punish her for misbehavior.
Whenever she took a piece of bread improperly or peeked into the fridge,
Yes, it did happen, but I put an end to it.
But if Victoria admits the man was cruel to her daughter, why does she refuse to believe he raped and murdered the girl, especially after the experts proved he was apparently guilty?
Muslimov's sperm was found in the girl's vagina. Is there any more sound evidence than that?
I see you behind the bars.
I was imprisoned for this,
She spent 4 years in prison.
For the murder of your daughter.
for helping him to take the body out of the apartment. But I didn't do it.
According to Victoria, at the moment of the murder, she was in the apartment. Together they came up with a plan to get rid of the child and keep the crime hidden from everyone. They hid the girl's body and then called the police, telling them that she had disappeared. The next night, they took the body out and dumped it in the trash container in the neighboring courtyard. Both his and her testimonies mention it.
He tortured her. Don't tell me you didn't know anything.
No.
But your murdered daughter says you did.
The girl's aunt only found out about this nightmare after her death. She was told about it in front of the morgue, from where they came to take her niece's body for the funeral.
This woman, a medic, went out and said, "I've seen many things in my life, but I've never seen a child who was raped for 2 or 2.5 years.
Could it be a kind of lesson for me? I don't know.
A big mother of a lesson, the child was murdered.
The only thing the mother could think of after her child was murdered was how to avoid prison for the man she loved. But I can't call this feeling love. This is some kind of perversion."
He's also being released soon because he's got the money and hired expensive lawyers.
It turned out that Victoria's partner submitted an appeal, and his life sentence was canceled.
The case was sent for a review, and the court may announce a new sentence soon. The lawyer is sure that Victoria's man will be released.
My client is not guilty. He will be released in any event.
I asked her what she would do after he's released, and she told me, "It's none of your business who I'll be sleeping with."
I didn't wish to spend even a second more in that woman's company.
What was the doll Allah was holding? It looked like it was smeared in blood.
She received it as a present, and she drew all over it. This is how she expressed her emotions.
And I saw a notebook with an awful phrase in it. He is the evil. And there was a third word I couldn't make out.
I had a dream. I was holding that notebook in my hands. And it read, "He is the evil. Dad, period, evil."
She was forced to call him Dad.
The spirit of the raped and murdered girl, through us, wanted to save her niece. Because if that beast is released, little Amina's life will be in danger.
I'm absolutely shocked and stupefied. I'm terrified to even think of what happened to my sister, and I don't want it to happen to my daughter. I'm taking my children and leaving.
You and your family can come and live with me. Oh, you know it well.
After the psychic's investigations, despite all the attempts of the beast's lawyers, the court sentenced him to life in prison. The murderer will never be free again. The murder of a young nurse. The maniac wanted his crime to remain hidden in the casket with his victim's body. But the woman's spirit will reveal the truth. The psychics will investigate the murder of a young Ukrainian nurse. Her name was Alina Diakova. She was 23. And this is her last photo.
Alina always dreamed of being a medic. She enjoyed working at the hospital.
Alina's grandmother was the last person who saw her alive. On her way home, Alina stopped in her village to visit her and bring her medications. After that, she hurried home to give a dripper to her mother, who suffers from a stomach ulcer.
I dialed her and spoke to her on the phone.
At 8 p.m., Alina went to the bus stop. The two villages are 4 kilometers apart, so Alina was supposed to be home 20 minutes later.
I came home and expected her to be back any moment. Then I called her and heard her crying and shouting, "Mom, help me!" I asked her, "Where are you?" But I only heard, "At the cemetery." And that was it. The line went dead.
The bus linking both villages passes by the local cemetery. But the driver says Alina wasn't among his passengers that night.
There's only one cemetery between the villages, so my husband and I quickly went there by car. I called her, I shouted, I ran, and tried to dial her. I heard the tone, but nobody would answer the phone.
Desperate, the mother called the police, and the law enforcers began the search right away, joined by the locals.
Alina was found 2 days after she disappeared. Her body was lying in the field 5 kilometers from the village Alina had been heading for on her last evening. She was undressed, her wrists and ankles were tied, and a black plastic bag was on her head. The forensic examination concluded that the cause of Alina Diakova's death was a traumatic brain injury. Apart from that, she was beaten badly.
The forensics said her jaw had several fractures.
My husband went to the identification, and my son says it's good I didn't see her.
The victim's cross was found next to her body. Its lace was broken. Most probably, the murderer tore it from the victim's neck.
She helped everyone. She only meant good. Did she really deserve this? Why would somebody do something like that to another person?
All of Alina's personal possessions were with her. That is, it couldn't be a robbery. According to her friends and family, Alina never had conflicts with her friends or colleagues, which excludes the idea that she could be killed as revenge. She wasn't in a relationship at the time of the murder, so it wasn't done out of jealousy. Then the motive remains unclear to date.
I really want to ask for your help.
We need it to be investigated properly, so at least nobody else will be hurt.
The most powerful psychics in our project, Kayal Alekperov and Zhana Shulakova, took up the case.
I have a feeling Alina was put into some kind of casket before she was murdered.
When I asked who the murderer was, my sacred book told me, look for the hand with the cross. Besides, Alina called her mother from the cemetery. It gives me an idea it could be a ritual murder.
The psychic's words can make anyone's hair stand up on their nape. Is Alina really a victim of a bloody ritual?
Hold on. My book gave me 2 more cues. The murderer's hand feeds the dog and find the girl who escaped from the beast. Let's go.
Kayal,
It's unbelievable. Kayal Alekperov was almost hit by the car. Fortunately, the driver hit the brakes at the last moment.
do you want to kill yourself? What happened?
Jana, it was as if I teleported into that terrible evening. Through Alina's eyes, I saw the same car, but it was white. Could the murderer be a driver?
So we need to find a similar car.
The psychics arrive at the house of Lilia, Alina's mother. The victim's family, friends, and colleagues are already waiting for them.
Hello, my name's Lilia. I'm Alina's mother.
I'm Alina's aunt. My name's Natalia.
Thank you so much for coming.
Give me your hands. At that moment, I saw Alina's spirit. I wanted to cry suddenly. For some reason, Alina felt huge guilt toward her grandmother. Grandma, forgive me that I didn't bring the flowers.
Alina died on her grandmother's birthday.
I feel she knew she would die. Not long before it happened, she had a nightmare. It was a prophetic dream.
Yes, she told me of it.
She was running, fleeing from a beast that was trying to tear her apart. What lunar phase was it? Can somebody give me a phone? I need to check it out online. What was the lunar phase? Here, look. Here, the moon was full.
But if it really was a ritual murder, and Alina was killed at the cemetery, then here's a question. How did her body end up 5 kilometers away from the cemetery?
What do we have here? The murderer. He's lonely. He knows her, he sees her. He's interested in her.
My book is telling me that the police detained somebody. Do they really have a suspect?
Well, they really arrested a man quickly. But we doubt it could be him.
Then why did they arrest him?
Because he's an ex-convict and was released recently.
The victim's family think the police had simply detained the first suspect they could find, choosing the ex-convict to close the case quickly so the people would calm down.
He's a thief. Previously, he was sentenced for theft.
Yes, when they found him, he had her phone and earbuds.
The suspect's name is Mikhailo, and he lives in the village not far from which Alina was found. During the search at his house, the police found the victim's mobile phone. This was the reason for his detention.
My book says that Alina had valuable jewelry on her, and it was untouched. It was something in the shape of swallows.
Gold earrings. They were on her.
He took nothing. He didn't even touch the gold.
The old jailbird took the phone but didn't touch the gold. It's really weird.
Mikhailo has a wife and a 13-year-old daughter. But Jana Shulikova claimed Alina's murderer was a lonely man who knew the victim. Mikhailo never knew Alina. All her friends and relatives confirm it.
Did the police make a mistake, and the dangerous murderer is still free? The psychics go to the cemetery, from where, according to her mother, Alina called her.
She was brought in a car.
Alina never got into strangers' cars.
She knew the man in the car. I see the car with Alina pull over here. The murderer starts harassing your daughter, grabbing her hands. She realizes she's in danger, and she needs to run. And so, she runs away.
There. She runs, crying and shouting. She takes her phone. She says, "I see crosses." She's going to tell his name, but she's too late. She suffocates. She trailed off no sooner she had inhaled. And then a bump. 1, 2. Blood squirts. There's blood everywhere. She's all beaten so badly.
As an ex-serviceman, I saw a lot of blood and was in many terrible situations. But even at war, people weren't as cruel as this beast who tormented the defenseless woman.
To understand who the real murderer was, the psychics go to the site where Alina made her last call to her mother.
Constant buzz in my ears. It's like emptiness.
Are you unwell?
My God, this is awful. She suffered so much. She tries to hide the phone. She's afraid to lose it because she's afraid she won't be found and saved. Oh God, she's shouting out. She's shouting out. She's calling. She's screaming. She's shouting, "Mom!"
I still hear her calling because I heard it over the phone. I can't forget it no matter what I do. She was waiting for me and she was calling me, hoping I would find her.
Different punches and kicks, and one of them is a massive thump, like with a club, or something long, like a pipe. An iron pipe.
A metal pipe. The people who helped with the searching found it here.
There are 2 murder weapons and 2 men. There were 2 of them.
According to Alina's relatives, she spent several years learning martial arts, and she was very fit. As such, she would have probably escaped from one attacker.
If you take the arrested man, he's frail. And she would have easily dealt with him.
She is lying down. She feels very bad, but she's not dead yet.
Alina was taken away from here.
The psychics and Alina's family go to the site where Alina's body was found. The representative of the local self-defense unit has also arrived. He was the first to find the body in the field during the search.
She was lying here, like this. The bag on her head was tied with duct tape, and her wrists and ankles were duct taped too.
They put the plastic bag on her head because the murderer was afraid to stain his car's interior with blood. I feel she was undressed.
She was lying like this, naked.
First, I thought that your daughter's murder was of a ritual nature, but now I see the murderers wanted to rape Alina.
By the time of the investigation, the results of the autopsy weren't ready yet, so nobody knew whether Alina had been raped or not. But before the episode aired, we were sent a copy of the autopsy results. According to it, there was sperm in Alina Dyakova's body.
Now, I see the 2 men bring your daughter here in the car.
A cigarette smoldering, smoke rising. He dropped the cigarette and they left.
Indeed, the investigators found a cigarette butt next to Alina's body. It was taken for the examination, and the sample of the saliva found on it was compared to that of Mikhailo, the suspect. They didn't match.
Wait, it wasn't dark then, and the sun was rising. Alina was brought here in the morning.
She spent the whole night in a tiny, enclosed, dirty, dark, and cold room. I smell dampness. a white house and a small window and a blue frame.
Can you show it? Can you find this house?
I think my jinns can show the way. We've got to go straight. There is a cafe or a store next to the house in which they kept your daughter. And I hear a dog barking. Your daughter heard it too before she died. Now turn left.
The clairvoyants enter the village. They feel the murderers kept Alina somewhere here.
Wait. Here. Is it the store?
Let's get outside.
I feel it was here. This house. This is where Alina was kept before she died. Is anybody home?
I said stop it. Hush. Sit.
Could you tell me, please, who lives here?
Mikhailo used to live here.
What are you doing here?
I'm looking after my friend's home.
This man's name is Dimitro, and he lives next door. Suddenly, the psychics notice the white car in the yard.
Alina's murderer drove a white car.
Could it be the same car Alina got in on the night of her murder?
Why was Mikhailo arrested?
They claim he murdered a girl.
Is it the same Mikhailo?
The suspect?
At that moment, I remembered the cue my book had given me. The hand with the cross. Could it be a tattoo? Tell me, does Mikhailo have a tattoo on his hand?
He does.
Is it a cross?
Yes.
Does this mean the man detained by the police is really guilty? But if the psychics are right, he didn't commit the crime alone. Who is the second murderer?
Can we come into the yard to work?
Just a moment. Let me tether the dog.
I feel Alina's energy. This is where she was tied and then raped.
The lid of the casket. Here is your daughter's casket. I can't be in here. I feel sick. I need to get out. It's unbearable.
It was awful to look at the shed, knowing my daughter died in it.
Tell me, do you feed the dog?
Well, yes.
My book tells me the murderer's hand feeds the dog. Did you see Mikhailo that day?
When?
When the young woman was murdered.
Of course I did.
You and he drank.
Do you mean you came to visit him and you drank alcohol together?
I had 2 shots. He invited me in to reconcile.
Tell me, what time were you in this house?
It was 6:30 or 6:40.
In other words, roughly 90 minutes before Alina disappeared, Mikhailo was at home drinking, and Dimitro was with him.
Did he have any other guests? Did you see anybody else?
There were his ex-wife, his girlfriend, and his kids.
All right, so it means you and him were the only men there, right?
Yes.
And you both were in the house, weren't you?
What happened after you had the 2 shots with Mikhailo?
He told me, bro, let's go get more vodka and something to munch.
And you went with Mikhailo to buy more vodka, didn't you?
I didn't want to go with him, so I went home. It was 7:15.
And an hour later, Alina's mother called her to find where she was. It was when she was at the cemetery, trying to flee from her murderers.
Can anybody confirm that?
I live alone.
The detained suspect has a family, but my card showed me that the murderer was lonely. Dimitro lives alone.
But there is no evidence that Dimitro was involved in the murder, and there are no witnesses who could say that he was home at the time.
I have one more question. Did you know Alina?
No, I didn't even know her name.
I feel you're lying. You did know her. Your work connected you.
Well, I saw her often. I'm a plumber at the regional hospital. I've worked there for 6 or 7 years, so I saw her there. I saw her quite often, as my job is to check piping in the wards and rooms.
In other words, she knew you, and you knew her. Is that right?
Well, yes.
Are you trying to say you didn't know her name, even though you worked at the same place? I see he's lying.
I wasn't there. I didn't go anywhere. Why are you blaming me?
Dimitro, your reaction is very suspicious. Why are you so nervous? Did anybody blame you for something?
Since the man had no alibi on the night of Alina's death, I carried out my own investigation in relation to him. I asked the villagers, and I was shocked to hear what they told me.
He's not simply aggressive, he's mental.
According to his neighbor, once Dimitro got drunk and attacked another villager who refused to lend him money. Moreover, it turned out that a day before the murder, Dimitro and Mikhailo had a row.
I only know they were drinking together. As far as I know, Dimitro began harassing Mikhailo's stepdaughter. She's about 15, if I'm not mistaken. Her mother was shouting loudly.
This is she, the girl who escaped from the beast.
It's yet another proof that it wasn't a problem for him to attack a defenseless young woman.
We're only saying what we feel. Accusation is the job of the police.
Please press the police. Do anything to make them resume the investigation. Not just one of them has his hands bloodied.
Thank you for responding and helping us.
I am genuinely grateful. Now we know the answers. And we heard the truth we needed to hear.
It's hard to comprehend everything that happened to Alina Diakova, an unearthed grave and a vengeful ghost. Don't miss out. The psychics will reveal a chilling family secret, but can they stop the otherworldly killer? In this episode, Lyudmila Litovchenko from Ukraine seeks help from the psychics. She claims that her entire family is destined to die soon.
I simply don't want to bury my children.
Lyudmila is 46. She works as an accountant and has a son and a daughter. Everything in her life would have been wonderful if not for one horrifying event. Her brother Ruslan dug up their mother's grave several years ago.
He unearthed it, and you could see the coffin.
It happened the following day after their mother's funeral. She had died of a stroke. Ruslan couldn't even remember why or how he did this.
He said he didn't remember.
The medics concluded that Ruslan suffered from a nervous disorder due to extreme grief and stress, causing him to lose control. He couldn't bear the loss of the dearest person he adored, especially given that, in their mother's eyes, he was always the favorite among her 5 children.
He was always Mom's dearest boy.
Lyudmila knew that disturbing a grave sealed by a priest could invite punishment from the restless soul of a deceased person. So, she worried that her brother's act would bring calamity upon their family. And within a week, Lyudmila's fears became reality. A fire broke out in Ruslan's house, where he lived alone after a divorce. Ruslan almost burned alive and was taken to the hospital with severe burns.
They couldn't save his leg and had to amputate it. It was terrifying.
The firefighters determined that the cause of the fire was an electric heater. However, according to the family, the device was new and all the wiring in the house was in good condition. But this tragic incident was only the beginning. Soon, Ruslan's only daughter hanged herself at home. She was only 22.
I didn't believe it until I saw her.
The reason behind this horrifying act by a successful student and a future bride remains a mystery for the family.
She inspired me with her zest for life. She never gave up.
2 funerals and a horrible fire in the family within such a short period. And soon, right before Lyudmila's eyes, her own daughter almost burned alive.
It was terrifying.
Lyudmila and her 19-year-old daughter, Lisa, were cleaning up their yard. As everyone else, They were burning dry leaves in the autumn. Suddenly, without warning, Lisa fainted and fell into the flames. Panicked, her mother pulled her out of the fire. The young beauty suffered serious burns.
Here's the scar. And I've got a big one on my arm.
An ambulance arrived. They rushed her to the intensive care unit. It was agonizing to watch her suffer.
Lyudmila and her daughter are convinced that all these events in their family are connected to the disturbed grave of Lyudmila's mother.
I fear for my family.
Our project's psychics, Zhana Shulakova and Rubina Tsibulska, stepped in to help Lyudmila's family.
I worked with the photo of Lyudmila's family, and the cards told me to look for the one who's forbidden to approach the grave. The answer lies with the twins. And
a love triangle. Here's what my mirror showed me. An empty room with a coffin in the middle of it, containing a dead young woman in a wedding dress. A teenage girl leans over her, lowering a wedding veil onto her face. Then I heard the whisper of the dead girl. She said to the teenager, "You're next."
Could it be the future of Lyudmila's daughter, Lisa?
No. The girl in the coffin wasn't her. Nor was it Lisa who lowered the veil.
The next morning, the psychics are ready to set out to meet Lyudmila.
I need to buy a phone. Last night, I kept thinking about the girl in the coffin, and suddenly, I saw her spirit. She told me I should give a new phone to someone.
But how will you find out who?
I don't know it yet, but I feel it's very important.
Hello?
Hello.
We've been looking forward to meeting you. I fear for my children.
I sense cold behind Lisa. Do you feel someone near you?
Yes.
It turns out that recently, Lisa has been seeing the silhouette of a man. His terrifying gaze seems to paralyze her and take away her speech.
I saw him. He looked at me malevolently.
And you, Lyudmila, do you also sense him?
I do. What do we do?
I suggest summoning your mother's spirit and asking her.
Lyudmila, what was your mother's name?
Allah.
I see her. And I smell a fragrance. You know, something sweet.
She had a favorite perfume called Shahrazad. I can still remember it vividly.
I also felt Grandma standing between me and Mom.
She says, "I love you very much."
She will never harm your family.
She's embracing you.
Such warmth. I love you very, very much. Help us.
Her grave had been indeed disturbed. I advised Lyudmila to seek a priest's help to seal it once again.
At that moment, the spirit of Lyudmila's mother began to fade, and she showed something black, like a cross.
A black cross.
Oh God.
What's going on?
I put this ladder here myself. It was standing sound. Why did it fall?
A dead man stood before us, the same spirit that Lisa had seen.
To understand who this enraged spirit was, we needed to work in the house. He seems to be setting a trap for your children.
He'll kill anyone who wants to become a member of this family. Who shut the door?
There was no draft or wind.
There's a young woman standing there. She's dead. I saw her in my vision. An empty room with a coffin in the middle of it, containing a dead young woman in a wedding dress. She's trying to tell me something. Pass on a gift from me. She's waiting.
Who?
The spirit is gone. She probably meant the phone. I saw her in some kind of box. She lay in it like a broken doll.
The answer lies within the family. We must find the woman who practices magic.
My middle sister is said to be a witch.
Lyudmila is talking about one of her two elder sisters, Alla. The locals claim she's a witch because she supposedly reads cards and performs various rituals.
I see Alla curse you. You took her child. What does it mean?
I took her daughter from her after she'd beaten her. Bodana lived with me for a month.
It turns out that Alla has a 13-year-old daughter named Bodana. The girl doesn't know her father, and her mother, according to Lyudmila, neglects her and mercilessly beats her.
Mom said, "Don't you even call me Mom?" She beat me with a branch and an iron scoop. I cried.
How can you hate your own child like that?
Recently, Alla even sent her daughter to an orphanage, claiming it was hard for her to deal with the girl alone. On weekends, children with families are taken home, but Bodana always goes to her aunt's, as her biological mother doesn't want her. Nevertheless, it doesn't stop Alla from coming to her sister's house, creating scenes and ordering her daughter to come home immediately.
I clean the house, wash dishes, and cook, while Mom is busy with her own things, like watching TV.
Why haven't they terminated her parental rights?
She keeps claiming she'll refuse guardianship over her, but she won't do it because she receives financial support as a single mother.
This is disgusting. Does that woman practice magic on top of that?
I see this woman in the doorway whispering something.
She stuck needles in my doorway.
Needles? Alla could have tied the spirit to the needles, the one hunting Lyudmila's family.
Where does she live?
Not far from here.
Good evening.
What do you want?
We want to understand what's threatening Lyudmila's family.
What does that have to do with me?
Why did you curse your sister?
I didn't. If I got angry, I could only punch her at most.
Lyudmila says you cursed her when she took your daughter, the same daughter you constantly mistreat.
That's her problem if she says so.
We'll sort this out now. Give me your hand.
For God's sake.
These hands choked an infant, a tiny one trying to kill it.
I sense the energy of the infant Alla tried to choke nearby. Was it her?
You simply hated her because of her father, who abandoned you.
This woman's name is Yulia, and she's 33 years old. As it turned out, she's Alla's elder daughter.
She refused from me, and her parents took me to save me.
Yulia was adopted by Alla's parents when she was a baby. Her grandparents raised her along with their younger children.
The dead girl in the wedding dress is here again. She was murdered, and she's pointing at you. She's your daughter.
Darina.
She was my sister.
It turned out that it was Alla's another middle daughter who had been killed 2 months ago. Darina was only 19.
She was in a large box, lying in it like a broken doll.
Her body was found locked in a suitcase.
Dear God.
It's hard to believe, but the body of the dead girl was indeed found in a suitcase thrown into a garbage container.
We were all shocked.
The locals made this gruesome discovery near one of the high-rise buildings in the nearby town. The girl lived and studied at an industrial college there and worked as a cashier at a coffee shop.
I still can't believe it.
Bodana mourned her sister more than everybody else.
She was going to come to visit me after the new year. She said we'd live together, but it didn't work out.
The forensic experts determined that poor Darina had her neck broken. She was strangled, but her cruel killer hasn't been found yet.
Darina's spirit showed me a young, dark-haired man. She said he killed her out of jealousy. The whole truth will be found in her phone. I sense that Darina communicated with her killer on social media. He's a foreigner.
The family says that Darina indeed dated a foreigner. After the investigation, we learned that the police supposedly found a taxi driver who had picked up a Middle Eastern man. He had a suitcase with him and got out not far from the building where they had found the body.
Darina was killed by a living murderer. But like other family members, she is a victim of an enraged spirit. Her spirit came because she fears for her family, especially her younger sister. She wants to protect her. She says she desperately wanted to call her younger sister, but she couldn't. Now I understand why. She didn't have a phone.
She didn't have one.
This is horrible. A child who lives in an orphanage can't even call her loved ones.
I asked Mom for a phone, even a basic one, just to stay in touch with Darina. But Mom said I didn't need it, and I didn't deserve it.
So this is who Darina asked me to buy a phone for.
Where's Bodana?
It turned out that Bodana's aunts took her to stay with them over the weekend, and so she also came to see the clairvoyants.
I see you standing over your sister's body, alone, holding a white dress.
Is this what Allah made the child do? Dress her dead sister in a wedding gown?
My goodness. Did you dress your sister in a wedding dress?
It was beyond my comprehension. I can't imagine what that girl went through. Now I understand who the mirror showed me before the investigation. My dear girl, your sister asked me to give you a gift from her. She loves you very much.
Darina knew it was my big dream.
I heard Darina's voice. She said, "My mother is only interested in herself. She has no connection to the spirit of the killer, and I'm very grateful to you for the gift to my little sister."
Thank you. Thank you too.
And the next moment, I saw the murderous spirit again, and then something terrible happened.
Wash her face with snow.
Drink the water.
Smelling salt, smelling salt.
Fortunately, Bodana regains consciousness.
The spirit of the enraged man attacked Bodana right before everyone's eyes.
And then the spirit of the murdered Darina showed me some signs.
"12 crosses?
We have a kind of separate little cemetery within the local cemetery. There are 12 graves of our relatives there."
The answer was there.
We need to go to the cemetery. It's horrific. I've never seen anything like this before.
The younger generation of this family is simply dying out. And we couldn't even imagine who the murderous spirit would turn out to be. Whose cross is that?
The black one, my father's.
It's the same cross that the spirit of your mother showed me. She showed something black, like a cross.
It's him, the murderous spirit. Lyudmila, your father is killing his children.
I couldn't even imagine anything like that.
I tuned into the spirit of this man and saw Lyudmila's mother during a ritual. She fears her husband so much that she puts protection on the children and herself. She asked a woman who practices magic for help.
But why did Lyudmila's mother put up the protection? And what does her husband have to do with it?
Rubina, I think I know the reason. It's a love triangle.
I see. And twins.
My brother and I, we're twins.
You and Ruslan, the one who dug up your mother's grave?
Yes.
You and your brother aren't related to your father by blood.
He wasn't their biological father.
The family kept this secret for years. Lyudmila and Ruslan were the youngest of the 5 children in the family. Their mother cheated on her husband and birthed the twins from another man.
Mom fell in love with another man.
It wasn't a fleeting affair between Lyudmila's mother and her biological father. It was an incredible, unconditional love. It had started long before the woman married her husband.
He was her first love. They were going to marry, but Grandpa didn't let her do it.
Lyudmila's mother and her classmate, Alexander, fell in love when they were both 16. They never separated. The girl dreamed that Alexander would be the father of her future children.
Her parents forced her to marry another man whom she didn't love, but whom they considered a better match for their daughter.
Yes.
She lived her whole life with a man she despised.
Her heart belonged to Alexander.
She loved him all her life, and they even dated secretly.
The woman got tired of living a lie, and she confessed everything to her husband. His rage knew no bounds. He wanted to abandon his wife and children, believing none of them were truly his.
Then he cooled down, thought it over, and talked to his wife, and they decided not to destroy their family, and they lived for the sake of their children.
When we were around 13, Mom told us that we weren't blood related to our father.
But her husband couldn't accept her unfaithfulness. He couldn't come to terms with it and constantly vented his anger at his wife.
Yes, he would beat Mom, but she endured it. She always told me, "Don't live with someone you don't love."
Lyudmila, I sense that your mother was so afraid of her husband that she didn't even want him to visit her grave.
She said, "Don't let him even come close to me."
Look for the one who's forbidden to approach the grave. I have a feeling of someone walking behind me.
My legs are numb. Please do something.
We must perform the ritual immediately.
We needed to summon the father's spirit, and Lyudmila was to ask him to leave the family alone.
Show yourself to us. And right before my eyes, the photograph on the father's tombstone began to develop spots. He's here, and he's ready to listen.
Don't harm my children. It's not their fault.
Go away. I'm closing the path into this world for you. The spots are vanishing. He's gone, and he won't trouble your family anymore.
Thank you so much.
It's incredible what awful consequences the mothers living with the unloved man had for the family. A young mother was found hanged in a wasteland. The police claim it was suicide, but the family are convinced the woman was murdered. Don't miss out. The psychics will expose the murderer. Little Denis Panasenko is only 3 years old. He loves toy trains, planes, and fluffy pets.
Here's my cat, Rijik.
But most of all, the boy likes to listen to fairy tales. His mother, Lena, got him used to books from the first months of his life.
She always read him those fairy tales. She taught him everything.
However, now the boy's grandmother reads him books, as his mother has been gone for 6 months.
32-year-old Lena Panasenko disappeared under mysterious circumstances.
It was Saturday. At 4 in the afternoon, Lena went out of her apartment, where she lived with her husband. She was going to go to the village, where her mother and sisters, Alla and Yulia, live with their families. Little Denis was also in living there.
Lena decided that it would be better if he stayed with his grandmother in the village until he was about 5. She was very busy at work. She was a plasterer.
The boy's parents worked a lot, so his grandmother took care of him. On weekends, his mother came to visit him, but the final week of summer saw everything go wrong.
She phoned me in the evening and said, "Mom, I can't make it," and then she just hung up.
Lena promised to come the next day. However, Lena didn't show up even 24 hours later.
I dialed her, and after a few tones, her phone was turned off.
The woman raised the alarm. She called all of her daughter's acquaintances and friends. None of them had seen Lena. When she called her son-in-law, he was shocked to learn that his wife was not at her mother's.
The last time I saw Lena, she said she was going to her mom's. She also said she was planning to stop by her friend to get some children's clothes.
Lena's friend Liuda has a son who is a few years older than Denise, so she always gave Lena the clothes he outgrew.
She came and we had tea. And then she said, "All right, I'm off. I need to drop by the store to buy some candy for the kid, and then hurry to catch the bus."
Our journalists interviewed all the bus station employees who had a shift that day. None of them saw Lena, nor did she ever get on the bus.
The woman seemed to have vanished into thin air. Eventually, her relatives went to the police.
The major assured us my sister simply went partying somewhere and would come back soon.
The police kept assuring Lena's relatives that she would return until her body was found in a wasteland on the outskirts of the town. She was hanged on a tree.
According to the forensic examination, Lena died from asphyxiation. The official police version is suicide.
However, everyone who knew Lena is outraged by the police's version. They say she couldn't have taken her own life. She loved her son too much to do this.
There are very few mothers like her, to be honest. I will never believe she did this. Never.
But the police have their own arguments on this matter.
Visually, there were no injuries on the victim's body that would indicate a violent death.
But Lena's sisters claim they saw the traces of violence with their own eyes.
The first thing we noticed was a bruise on her arm, like clotted blood. There was also a large hematoma behind her ear.
It's quite possible that the victim was hit on the head to knock her unconscious. Then she was hanged to simulate suicide.
What scared me the most was the place where it happened.
Because it's a remote area, it's simply stupid to go all the way there to simply hang yourself. Why?
The woman was found hanged in a deserted wasteland on the other side of the town.
The investigators can't explain how she ended up there.
There is no answer to the question of where the woman's passport went either. Lena always had it with her.
There was the photocopy of the first page of Lena Panasenko's passport in her handbag, which the detectives found next to the body. But it's unclear what happened to the document itself.
There are too many questions and no answers.
But the strangest thing is not what was missing from Lena's handbag, but what was left in it.
The cards. I was shocked. She never played cards.
If the cards didn't belong to Lena, then whose were they? Could the killer have left them? But why? Did they want to say something with this? Is the woman's death somehow connected to gambling?
And the most significant inconsistency, the body was found without underwear. Although according to the forensics, Lena wasn't raped.
I asked them why she was without her underwear, but they said they didn't know and simply closed the case and said it was suicide, period.
The investigators have no answers to any of the pressing questions.
My last hope is the psychics.
The participants of our project, clairvoyants Olena Kurilova and Kayal Alekperov, took on the case.
She came while I was working with her photo. But she didn't answer any of my questions about her death. She simply lowered her gaze and remained silent.
She's ashamed of something.
Exactly, Olena. I asked her to give me at least some sign of where to look for the answer. And she showed me a small piece of paper with an eye drawn on it, resembling some kind of magical symbol. Is it possible that Lena's death was caused by some magical intervention?
You know, Kayal, while I was working with her, I saw the following. A small white house, surrounded by gravestones bearing some rune-like symbols on them.
The psychics meet with Lena's mother and sister in the downtown of the town where she lived.
Thank you very much for coming.
Mommy. Mom, I came to you. I was at yours. I stood by the window.
Yes, I remember it.
A few days ago, Denise and I were playing in the bedroom. Denise said, Grandma, someone's knocking on the window." I ran there and heard dull knocking, like a bird's.
She's trying to say something. Ma. I only hear Ma, and nothing more.
I heard a female voice saying, "There was no prayer. She was not given a proper Christian funeral."
Yes.
The priest refused to conduct a funeral service for Lena because the police concluded it was suicide. But what really happened to the young woman? Did she take her own life, or was she murdered? But who could do it, and why?
Two of Pentacles, a double game. The card of money. Money is involved in the death.
What double game could it be? And what money? Lena and her husband weren't wealthy.
I need to do a good big spread. Let's go somewhere where we can sit down.
The local cafe is not crowded in the morning, and the psychics can work calmly.
The cards say that your daughter was murdered. She's not a suicide.
I knew this all this time.
Tell me, did you notice that Lena recently seemed unlike herself? Like she became a different person?
Yes. At some point, she withdrew into herself and became very thoughtful. I saw that something was bothering her.
Is it possible that Lena had some troubles of which didn't want to tell her family to not upset them?
She said, "Oh, Ma, I can handle it myself. You don't need to worry about it."
This is word by word what she told me.
I have a feeling that Lena went to meet death for the sake of her child.
My God.
This is unbelievable. A vase of flowers stood on the table behind the psychics, and it fell suddenly.
It got smashed, but there was absolutely nobody around it.
It was a sign.
I hear your daughter. She blames her husband for her death. I feel that their relationship was on the edge.
I have a photo of her and her husband.
Yes, I'd like to see it.
They argue over the child. They had fights.
My Cola was mad.
So, shortly before her death, Lena quarreled with her husband. Was she going to leave him?
It's hard to disagree that it's a serious blow to a man's dignity, and it could very well be a motive to murder his wife.
The investigators didn't check the husband's alibi, as they believed Lena hanged herself and no one was involved in her death. However, we found that on the day Lena disappeared, Mikola was at work from morning until evening. After that, he went to a bar with his friend and stayed there until 11 p.m. His friend and the bar staff confirmed this.
Let's go to the place where your daughter's body was found.
Were you there?
No, and the investigator in charge told us he didn't know where it was.
If you know at least the area where Lena was found, I will try to sense the exact place there.
Hello, I'm a representative of the local police.
When the local police learned that psychics had arrived to investigate Lena Panasenko's mysterious death, their press officer joined them.
We're also curious about what exactly happened here, so we'd like to know what the psychics think.
Overall, the energy of the place is very unpleasant. I see Lena's body to the right-hand side of the road, and there's also a small body of water, or a ditch there.
Indeed, there is such a place further down.
I see a lowland with 3 trees. Let's go.
The woman from the police does not say where exactly Lena was found hanged. She's apparently testing the psychics.
It's further that way.
Svetlana stops. It seems she's not feeling well.
Does anybody have water?
I feel like I'm being choked.
We're close now, the mother feels it.
Have some water. Exhale, like this.
Do you wish to go on?
Yes.
And there it is, the White House. I told you about it. A little white house surrounded by gravestones. Look. It's a burial site. This is a place of sacrifices. Is the cemetery Jewish?
Yes. We occasionally receive reports about damage to these tombstones.
Did she happen to practice magic?
She used to visit some old woman not far from hers, but she never explained why she went there.
Look, the magic eye.
An occult symbol. Satanists were here. Did they kill her?
Lena wasn't one of them, but she could probably be a victim of a satanic ritual.
With special ritual knives, various occult signs are carved on the body.
There were no injuries on the victim's body at all.
The family claimed they saw bruises on Lena's body, but those weren't stab wounds. The injuries like hers are not typical for ritual murders.
Why was I shown the White House and the gravestones? Perhaps it was to point me to the place of Lena's death.
Over here. She was hanging on this tree.
Yes, it's the tree. This is the place.
This is the first time Lena's mother and sister are at this tragic place, and they cannot hold back their emotions.
I love her very much. It's so hard without her.
She's grateful that you are taking care of her son.
Don't worry, Lena. Your son will stay with us.
She's nodding.
Her spirit is pointing at her throat. There's a black rope around it.
The leather strap of her purse.
The purse is in the car. We have it.
The murderer's fingerprints could very well be on the victim's bag, but the forensic experts didn't check them, as the detectives immediately concluded that there was no crime in Lena Panasenko's death.
The murderer rummaged through the bag. These are male hands. Okay, hold on. The cards? And what is this number?
It's the pawn shop's number.
We immediately checked the number. The pawn shop administrator informed us that the victim had a debt.
She had a loan to repay. They're still calling me. She left my phone number as a warranty.
She needed money. The card of money. Money is involved in the death. Numerous debts, you see. Money and the cards? Did she play cards?
No, never.
No one ever used these cards. She took this deck to do fortune telling. When you go to see a fortune teller, you must take a new, clean deck of cards. She had anxiety in her soul.
The cards and the debts are not related.
Why did she need the money?
She needed it for her son.
Was the boy sick?
He had an operation.
The women said that Lena's son, Dennis, was often ill, and the doctors were fighting a severe form of salmonellosis. The infection affected the boy's bones and joints.
He might not have been able to walk, and his arm wouldn't move. Thanks to massages, exercises, and injections, he got better.
The treatment of the boy took an entire year. All the couple's savings went to saving their son, and they eventually had to go into debt.
She could have called and told me. But no, she took the loan.
Lena owed the bank about 10,000 hryvnias and also borrowed 3,000 from the pawn shop. This, by the way, explains the absence of her passport. She exchanged it for money.
According to Lena's friend, she was late in repaying the debt.
It even got to the point when they told her that if she didn't pay, say 600 hryvnias, today she would have serious problems.
Lena is showing me the magic eye again.
Who has a banknote? And here is the eye.
The secret lies in the money. Olena, she's very ashamed. She's crying.
Connections with men, like love. This is the card of work. A hand giving money. I don't... Did she take money from men? For love? It was a specific kind of love. Online dating, you see.
We checked the clairvoyant's words. Through Lena's mobile phone number, we found her secret page on social media and read one of the chats there. What we found there is deeply shocking.
Price? How much per hour do you want? I don't have a rate. I need money badly. Open for offers. How old are you? Will 400 UAH be enough? Would you like to repeat the paid date? I have a guy who wants you. Can I see his photo first? I don't want to run into someone I know.
From the text of the chat, it's clear that Lena was arranging a sex date for money. And there are lots of similar chats there. But on the day of her disappearance, she had a meeting with only one person and even told her friend Liuda about it.
She said she'd met a man online, and his name was Serhi. I asked her where he lived. She said near the train station. We had this conversation literally on the eve of her disappearance.
She was engaged in prostitution, and she didn't want you to know about it. She was ashamed of this, but she needed money desperately.
It was a mind-blowing revelation. And I felt all of her inner pain so deeply.
On her last day of life, she was in this place with a client.
For several days, our journalists interviewed everyone who appeared in this area until we finally found a witness, a man who often goes fishing at the local lake.
I remember her, such a tall, eye-catching girl. I saw her there near the quarry. She was with a guy. They were on the shore. They were sitting and hugging.
We asked her, how did you die? And she said, I don't know. I only remember the man's hands on my neck.
She was hit on the back of the head and fainted. Then the murderer put the bag strap around her neck and strangled her. Perhaps the man did this to avoid paying for sex. Then he staged the suicide to mislead the investigation.
No one expected such an ending. The good wife and caring mother, Lena Panasenko, paid with her life for the money she was collecting to pay for her son's treatment. She tried to earn the necessary amount at her official job. She worked overtime, but her salary wasn't enough. The boy's father helped very little, so Lena had to find the money in another way.
Our investigators will take everything the psychic said into account. We will check the people who could be involved in this act in accordance with the law.
She suffered alone in her trouble, but when you have trouble, you need to go to your family, your father and mother. You can always find a way out if there is someone to support and help you.
A few days later, Lena's relatives called our editorial office and told us that the priest considered everything the psychic said and agreed to perform the funeral service. The stigma of suicide was finally removed from Lena Panasenko.